Hello people of the interwebs. Today I'm in London. Yeah, this kind of London, and this is what happens when you buy cheap airplane tickets to London. Yeah, so this is London in Ontario, Canada, and today I just hit 50,000 subscriptions, and I want to thank you for that, guys. And while thanking you, I thought I'll just give you a quick tour around my ear, no, around this. And this is a Chevy Avalanche, so yeah, let's have a look at that. So if you guys are wondering what I'm doing in Canada, I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing in Canada, because you're going to find out in a few days. Now, whatever I'm going to be doing in a few days, you're going to see it. Bear with me, my project here in Canada will be in Polish, but I will be adding subtitles so that you can understand what I'm talking about, eh? Anyway, my 50,000 subscriptions hit a few days before my project started, so I thought I'll do a thank you video, and with this thank you video I thought I'll do a review of well, not really a review, a brief drive of this car. It's sorry if you're Canadian or American, North American in general, sorry, I'm sure you know this car and it's nothing special for you, but for us in Europe this thing is huge. This is a Chevy Avalanche. This is a car on the big SUV Chevrolet GM platform, so this is a car the size of a Chevy Suburban, or this is actually almost the same as Cadillac Escalade EXT, the Cadillac pickup. Yes, this is also a pickup truck, a luxury pickup truck. This car comes as a 5 or even a 6-seater if you have a front bench instead of 2 separate seats. And yeah, it's a 6-liter V8. This car that makes something like 360 horsepower. Doesn't sound like much, but this car can tow 3.5 tons, and it can, well, it weighs about 2.5 tons, 2.7 tons, something like that. So you're thinking, you know, if it's got a big engine like that, perhaps it can carry a lot more by itself. No, it can't. The total gross mass that it can carry, it's still 3.5 tons, but you know, that's so that you can drive it with your regular driver's license. What's it like to drive? Well, here in Canada it blends in pretty well, actually. You wouldn't really tell much difference from other cars. There are plenty of huge cars, huge by European standards, obviously not by Canadian or American standards, though my sort of aunt, she's not my aunt, she's my girlfriend's aunt, but yeah, the person I'm visiting, Marianne, thanks by the way, Marianne, for lending me this car here. She says in Toronto, where it's much more crowded, this car might be a bit out of place, but otherwise it's just a normal car around here. Okay, so big surprise, this thing, despite being over 5.5 meter long, it's surprisingly easy to park. I just reversed parked between 2 cars. Yes, it has a reversing camera, and yes, these spots, if you can, parking places, if you can see them, are pretty big. But it's a pleasant surprise that this thing is so easy to park nonetheless. It's very maneuverable. Now, 5.5 meters, if you want to know, it's about 70-80 centimeters bigger than an Amarok, I think. I think Volkswagen Amarok is about 4.8 meters long. So you can see the difference. I mean, this car is pretty big, and it's still not the biggest thing around here on the market. What else do we have? I mean, this is a typically American car with all the wood, and you have sat-nav with OnStar. This thing has a step which opens when you open the door, but this step can be also disabled in case you're off-roading and you don't want to damage the step. Of course, something we've seen in many American cars, you can adjust your pedals to better suit your driving position and whether perhaps you're wearing heels or not. It's got all-wheel drive if you need all-wheel drive, so yeah, with low range, high range, etc, etc. And it's opulent. I mean, this is something you don't need, especially in Europe, and it's opulent, but I absolutely love the size, the sheer mass of this thing. I mean, it's just crazy, this car. It's comfortable. It's supremely comfortable. I've got a good view of the road, and yeah, I don't feel out of place in it, you know, I'm just another guy on the road. But things here in Canada and probably in the US are huge. And when I mean huge, the distances. I landed in Toronto and we came to London, and it's about 150, 160 kilometers from the airport to the London city limits. But if you went from downtown Toronto to downtown London, that's about 200 kilometers, and that's about Belgium. That's about driving through Belgium from left to right. And the project that I'm here for, that I'm not going to tell you what it is, this is going to take much longer, much greater distances, and yeah, you'll see what it is in a couple of days. So in the meanwhile, let's just focus on this Chevy here. So an interesting thing about this car, the sort of defining feature of this car is the midgate. So it's a pickup truck with a pickup bed. The pickup bed is weatherproof. There are plastic panels that apparently seal off any water. There is some storage on the side, so you can put your ice and drinks in there, and there is drainage also, so that's pretty cool. And the defining feature of this car is the midgate system. So you can lower the back window, and you can lower the back seats, and then you can open like a divider between the pickup, between the truck bed and the inside of the car. So you're extending the loading area by, I don't know, good 3-4 feet, I would say. That's I start speaking like an American, you know. Yeah, good 3-4 feet. That's probably a meter and a bit. Sorry, 3-4 feet, eh? I have to learn the Canadian A, by the way. So this is the Chevy Avalanche, and there's a Ford F-150 in front of me, and that's not very big either by Canadian standards. So anyway, thanks again for the subscriptions. Stay with me here. There are going to be regular reviews on Fridays as usual. I have no clue. Okay, they're 3 o'clock the European time, and God knows what time here in Canada, because I will be traveling through time zones. Anyway, thanks a lot for being with me, for sticking with me, for bearing with me, and I'll see you guys soon in more reviews and special episodes, which are coming up in the next couple of days. See you guys.